Welcome, everyone. This is the Your Little Castle show. We get to bring on celebrity famous people periodically. Welcome, my buddy Dave, Captain Happy Hour, Dave King. Welcome to the studio, Dave.
Oh, thanks, Carter.
We were talking about how long ago did we go back with this whole? We were hanging out. I'm John Travolta today, everybody. I said I'm wearing a little. You never close your eyes anymore when I kiss your lips. I might sing with you sometime, Dave.
Sure.
We go back to, it was Rams.
Right.
So we know that was a while ago. You're also Ram King.
King Ram, yeah.
King Ram. I'm sorry.
Elvis
He
at
had
the
the
Rams
horns
games.
and all that, right?
No, I was Elvis.
Okay.
Well, we
I
were
was going to have you bring whatever you did.
No, you're thinking Ram Man.
Ram Man.
Yeah, no, that's my buddy Carl, but I was doing Elvis down there.
Okay, I knew you were Elvis, but I thought you had some Rams something.
When we first started out, I was doing the face paint with the horns, and then I got tired of doing it, and so I went to Elvis.
Oh, okay. Anyway, we had a crew of people like the Rams. I mean, the tailgating that goes on with football is always much more extraordinary.
Oh, yeah.
Than like you get home opener for the Cardinals, and that's it.
Right.
Nobody tailgates after that, which is fun because it's like the best home opener in MLB. People come to St. Louis just for it, mostly to see the Cardinal Cowboy, I think.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Or to stay away from them, I'm not sure which. But it's fun. But man, it was fun for those Rams games.
It was awesome. It was awesome. You know, between the smash band down at the tent and then our personal tailgate, I mean, by the end of it, we'd have 150 people at our tailgate, and I had no idea who any of these people. I knew about the core 20 people, but besides that, didn't know who any of these people were. And I'm in an Elvis suit, so you know, of course, they're doing photo ops and everything like that, and I'm just trying to have some eggs, you know.
Well, I remember your outfit. It was all Elvis.
Yeah, and all Rams patches.
It was the Rams face, I get, not the head.
I had blue and gold hair.
Okay, I always knew something. It was like
and I had Rams patches on the jumpsuit.
Guy. He was a big old bulky dude.
Yeah, he still is.
Super nice guy.
Carl's great, yeah.
But literally, just had it going on. So I'm wearing. I said I changed shirts for the show because I'm like, Dave's got the cool black shirt on. I'll wear the cool white shirt. Ebony and ivory.
There you go.
So all you can sing is that was only 4 seconds. If anybody's watching, they can tell me I have to edit. Let me know. But take note of the fun stuff that this. We got a story we're going to talk about at some point during. This is should we talk about it now or should we wait?
Sure.
This is one of the coolest stories. I'm gonna tell you what the story is now. This is a television marketing trick, okay? I'm gonna tell you what it's gonna be, and then you're gonna have to wait till the end to hear the whole story. Let's try that.
Okay.
I normally just go with the flow, but this young man over here, his wingman, right?
Bruce Olson.
Bruce was the guy that
Axl Rose punched during the riot.
And I just would be shocked if I actually knew somebody that was there. I was a freshman in college. You're a little bit older than me, by a couple of weeks or something.
Yeah, a couple.
But you guys were at the concert up first row, I guess.
I was working in the barricade.
So you were working there?
Yeah. Oh, I was working the show.
Was he working there too?
Yeah. Bruce was working in the barricade too. He was in the center of the barricade. I was off to the left-hand side in front of Slash. So.
We're going to talk about the whole story here in just a minute. First, we'll come back to this. Stay tuned to the end of the show. It's going to be funny. We're going to make clips out of this. It's going to be great. But I want to know, well, then who took the picture that caused the problem? Don't answer that until we get back to the end of the show. Is that cool?
Sure.
I thought it was a fan. Maybe it was Bruce. We'll tell you at the end here. I don't know the answer.
I do.
Do you? Dave knows the answer. Dave, Captain Happy Hour. You enjoy playing the Captain Happy Hour because you're solo. You're acoustic. You do all yourself, one-man band kind of thing, but it's not like you're playing the drums and everything all at once.
Just me and an acoustic guitar.
You brought yourself. He's got like a $7 million guitar with him over here. I saw him carry this thing. I was like, that plated with gold. What do you got in there? But you were talking about some of these guitars. You become a bit of a connoisseur of guitars.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That worked out a little bit because COVID, a lot of musicians, they have their passion, but when money gets tight, they got to sell their guitar.
Right, yeah.
Found a way to.
Yeah. When COVID started, I'd actually had about 50 guitars in my basement. Yeah, I'm down to 19 now, but moved quite a few guitars with people wanting to learn how to play the guitar at home and having all those government checks and everything.
But you got them at 30% of the cost, or how much were they?
Yeah. Musicians are pretty bad with money. So, I had Les Pauls and Strats and high-end acoustics and hollow body Gretches. And
anybody know what he's talking about? I guess most of your musicians. I played the piano for a minute, but
the creme de la creme of guitars.
okay, yeah. But you made some good little chunk of change. You essentially became Dave King Pawn Star, right? You just
Wow. Not a whole lot of people weren't playing, and I mean, I just hate to have guitars gather dust. You know, I've got my favorite 10, you know, that I play all the time, and you know, I go down to Nashville and I'll pick up some guitars down there and stuff like that. And,
so you've done this the old-fashioned way, full-time job.
yep.
Working for Boeing, and before that, Gray Bar, right?
Yep.
Is that we talked about? But ultimately, do this on the side and just enjoy entertaining people. But tell me, where did this come from? Are you a musician as a kid, or where did this start?
Like so many other people, I started playing in church.
Okay.
Our Lady of Loretto, Spanish Lake, Missouri.
I know some friends from Spanish Lake, yes.
Yep, and then Rosary High School after that, and then, you know, saw Kiss on TV, and it was off to the races.
Gene Simmons, is that his real tongue or not? I don't know. If they said we were kids, they're like, no, that's a cow's tongue. They sewed onto his tongue.
Yeah, no. I think Gene's real there, but I was more of a Paul Stanley fan. I was always a front man. So
yeah. Who was the lead singer for them?
Paul Stanley.
Was this Paul? He guitar and lead singer?
No, Ace was lead guitar.
Okay, so I'm now losing track, but I just knew Kiss. They all had makeup on. I dressed up as Kiss one time for Halloween.
First time I saw Kiss was in 1977. It cost me $7 for a ticket.
And that was third row, right?
Yeah. I went to the farewell tour. It was $200 a ticket.
Yeah. Inflation.
Uh-huh.
Well, man, I don't know where to go with this conversation because you could talk for hours and all kinds of cool stuff. How many musicians are there in St. Louis that we don't realize are like big-time players that played with big national bands, but they were the guitar guy, so they didn't get a lot of press. The lead singer always gets the most attention.
Right. Well, you know, starting with Billy Peake with Rod Stewart, you know, he's the guy playing guitar on Hot Legs. And then, of course, Michael McDonald, he's a North County boy.
I heard of him, yeah.
Yeah, he did okay.
We've been walking in Memphis. Is that him?
No, he's with the Doobie Brothers. That's Mark Cohn that did Walking in Memphis.
Okay, but similar style. Anyway, no, but
oh yeah,
Michael
they've got
McDonald,
that smoky voice.
Yeah, what was McDonald's biggest song, probably?
Probably What a Fool Believes or Taking It to the Streets.
Taking it to the street. We're gonna get in trouble. But yeah, I mean, literally, there's some great musicians coming out.
Steve Scorfino was one of his.
Steve Scorfino has performed in this studio. Everybody.
Well, he was in Michael McDonald's wedding.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Him and Chuck and yeah, all those guys were in Michael McDonald's wedding. As a matter of fact, Michael McDonald just put a book out last year, and it's really good. And especially if you're a local St. Louis guy, because he talks about the local St. Louis scene, starting off with St. John and James in Ferguson with Joe Bosey, his band teacher, who later taught at Aquinas. You know, I mean, everybody who plays music in this town pretty much knows everybody else. And it was really interesting. And Northland Music, behind starting his career and, you know, sponsoring him to go to New York City. And
I grew up in Fenton, everybody. Fenton was known for one thing. And yes, I went to school with a teacher by the name of Cheryl Crow, and I taught her how to sing back when I was in the third grade. Do you believe that? Dave's not believe. I made most of that up. I did grow up in Fenton, though.
Uh-huh.
Which part is true, everybody? I grew up in Fenton, and a couple of the guys. I went to the little Lutheran, very small. Like we all didn't have much money, but we wanted to go to the Lutheran school. And here's a funny one for you. Back when we went to Our Savior Lutheran, they went through the 6th grade. That was it. Because that's all you're getting out of this school, and then you must go into the real world. That's all you need is 6th grade. There was nothing past that. Back when I was a kid, then they had 7th and 8th grade. We had to go to Christ Community Lutheran School. I played basketball with Alan Bennis. I taught Alan Bennis how to play basketball. I got more if you need it. But Alan and I played on the same basketball team. I was a starting guard. He was a starting forward. Andy Bennis' little brother.
Uh-huh.
And anyway, that's the Lutheran stuff over there. But Cheryl Crow out of Kellison grade school, you don't know, okay, you were up north, I was up down south.
Right. She's a Mizzou girl.
She's a Mizzou girl. But is it true? You probably know. Then you knew. I didn't know she went to Mizzou. I should have figured. But she sang backup for Michael Jackson.
She sure did.
Is that true?
Yep. She left. She was teaching at Webster Groves. She was teaching in Webster Groves and left and went out to L.A. and was singing background for Michael Jackson and a couple other people too. So, wow. But Michael Jackson was the biggie.
Oh yeah, I mean I've heard of him. I taught Michael Jackson how to do the moonwalk too.
My first album for my 7th birthday was the Jackson 5 going back to Indiana, so I am rather partial to the Jackson 5.
Really?
Absolutely.
So you play all kinds of music then, because you got a lot of rock stuff you do.
Oh, yeah.
70s rock.
Country, Motown, anything. I just don't play much of the modern stuff. I don't do anything techno. I don't do any rap. I don't do any sampling. It's me and an acoustic guitar.
That's another trick of the trade. Like, a lot of the stuff that bands play these days, you can't tell us, but it's pre-recorded. Keyboard a lot of times is being pre-recorded because they don't have a keyboardist. Is that true?
True.
I know a little bit about the music stuff. Like Judy Rethwish was my mom, drama teacher. There's a picture. John Goodman holding up the plaque. They named the building after my mom. I mention that periodically on my show. But that's my musical background. People wonder, why does Carter got this actor-style, fun personality? I went to 37 plays before I was 17. I was in a play when my mom was a kid. When I was a baby, they used me for Fiddler on the Roof. I don't remember this.
Wow.
But John got the lead in one of the shows, and the music director said he shouldn't have had the lead. And she said, I don't care, I'm the director. I decide, and the rest is history, right?
He was at Missouri State, too. He left the year before I got there.
Well, he heard you were coming. He's like, I'm out of here.
He was a SIG up, and I was a teak down in Springfield, so yep.
Wow.
Good in the Animal House days.
The Animal House days. It was a party school down there, wasn't it?
Oh, yes, it was.
Was Mizzou a bigger party school, or was Southwest Missouri State?
Well,
now SMS or whatever.
It was SMS then. It's Missouri State now.
In Missouri State University.
It was Mizzou had more kids than we had, but I'd put us up against anybody back in the day. Well, we hit it pretty hard.
Well, one of the reasons I wanted to go to Central Methodist University, where my coach recently told me, he's like, you were going to make it to the bigs. You were the guy I had a kid that was older than you that made it to Double A and was going to make it, and you were as good as better than him. Finally talked to my old coach. But I went to Central because they gave me attention. They said, you're not the super 6'4" Division I style athlete, but you're good. I practiced all the time. That's what we talk about. Practice. How important is practice if you want to be a great musician? I mean, that's about all there is. You got to practice.
I generally play anywhere. I take it, if I don't have gigs on the weekends, I take it easy because I'm hanging out with my gal. But usually Monday through Friday or Monday through Thursday, I'll play anywhere from a half hour to 2 hours a day.
Just on your own at the house?
Just sitting on the couch, yeah.
That's dedication right there. Okay.
Well, I don't use an iPad or anything. I memorize everything. So
we talked about that earlier. So take note, everybody. If you want to see a professional, because it's true, I get up there and I karaoke and I have bands. I've probably sang with 40 bands by now, at least 20. Where I come up, but I'm like, blame it all on your roots. How showed up in boots, and I'm like, okay, what's the next set? I can't remember.
And ruined your black tie affair.
The last one to know, the last one to show. All right, that's all we can say. But literally, I still, for whatever reason, I should have memorized that. There's a million things I can memorize, but apparently it's that one. And if it's stage fright, not really, but there's a secret third verse too for that one.
Yeah.
You got just a repeat of the second verse, but you got to say, and I'll kick there.
Kiss your, yeah.
Can't say it on the camera. I found out. I looked it up. Some guy the other day said that was half, and then the last part rhymes with pass.
Yep.
And I looked it up. I'm like, I can call ABC and see if I can put this on or not, because half, it's kind of a passive aggressive slang. And I looked it up. I just Google searched it. It said, nope, not allowed. So I went there. I had to go beep. Don't make me edit.
George Carlin, the 7 words.
The 7 words that'll get you kicked off of it.
Yep.
Okay. George Carlin. See, that's a little bit older than my era, but not much, and that's right when your sweet spot. How much of an influence was George on the world when you were a kid and what you were doing?
Him and Richard Pryor quite a bit. Quite a bit. Well, when the first season of Saturday Night Live, he was one of the first hosts, when they started in 75. So.
I didn't know that. I guess, yeah, he was on Saturday Night Live. That was my thing. I mean, I sat at home by myself up until I could get in the car with my friends every Saturday night, but I watched Saturday Night Live every weekend.
Well, last week they had that show on about the 50 years of music on Saturday Night Live, and it was absolutely phenomenal. The film clips and everything they had on there. They had the Stones and James Brown. I mean, everybody, Devo. I mean, it's a 3-hour special, and it was well worth the time.
Yeah, I was just saying, 50 years, you got to have had 300 bands at least that were world famous. How do you summarize that in 3 hours?
Yeah, it was great.
Very cool. Tell me then, we always like to touch on, what do you enjoy most about what you get to do? I mean, we talk about this a lot, but you get to bring somebody something, they had a bad day, and they're saying, man, Going to happy hour. Going to see, here it is, everybody. Happy hour, Captain Happy Hour live acoustic, facebook.com/Captain Happy Hour. You can text you right, that number right there, right?
Yep.
314-322-6121. And they can book you through a text probably and say, hey, come out. You love it though. Why?
Oh, it's just a good time. I get a chance to meet a lot of people. I mean, I meet people every weekend, you know, and I mean, just talk about families and things like that. Over time, you know, playing private parties and everything like that. Like there's some people out in Lake St. Louis that are on the ski team. And I met them by chance 4 years ago at Missouri Brewing Company. And for the last 4 years now, I've played their private party out at their house during July. And they show up periodically throughout the year. And it's just these kind of relationships you build. And, you know, I don't take things real seriously. You know, I'll have people come up and if it's their birthday and play the tambourine or, you know, we have no script.
More cowbell.
Yeah, I've got a cowbell too. But yeah, just let people get up and have a good time. Let them get involved. You know, do their thing. And I do requests, you know, I'll just, after doing this for years and years and years, I've got a pretty good backlog of songs that I've played. And for the most part, you know, I'm a baritone unless somebody wants me to sing Journey, and then that kind of puts the kibosh on things.
You gotta say, Journey, they found an Asian guy to replace Steve Perry. It came out of nowhere. Sounds almost just like him.
Yeah, he's phenomenal.
That's right. I've seen them with Steve Perry and with the new guy. I don't know his name, but he was at Riverport. It's Riverport.
Right. It'll always be Riverport.
Don't you call it, I'm put the camera. Don't you call it anything other than Riverport.
That's right.
Everyone knows what you're talking about if you say Riverport. Those who don't know what I'm talking about, go ask somebody. They'll tell everybody what Riverport is.
That's right. I've got season passes out there.
Do you? Are you there almost every
almost every show.
Well, I need to know that, man, because sometimes I'm out there and we're just me and Tracy, and we run into people naturally. If I wear any Cardinal Cowboy thing, it's kind of crazy.
Yep.
And I got to take a lot of pictures. But I have fun and get in front of the crowd.
It's all about music. Patty this year for Valentine's Day, we've got tickets for Billy Joel and Rod Stewart at Yankee Stadium in July. So she's never been to New York, so we're going to do a concert road trip. That's her Valentine's Day present.
What? Now, who are you going to see? You said
Rod Stewart and Billy Joel.
So Rod Stewart,
it's Yankee Stadium.
Well, yeah, Rod Stewart's been around for how long?
He's
now?
80.
Is he 80?
Yep.
He was a super pro soccer player before he was a
Oh yeah. Him and Elton John and Freddie Mercury used to watch soccer matches together over at Elton John's house in England.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, if you read Elton John's book, Me, he talks about it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Elton John, Rod Stewart. These are all the, I guess, now Freddie Mercury, is he born in India originally?
He was born in one of those, I think it was in one of the smaller nations of Africa, like Zanzibar or something like that.
Okay. But he has a crazy story. And somebody told him he was too awkward to do whatever. And he just went out and just did it anyway. And man, he's one of the most impactful singers in history.
Yeah, he was amazing.
Who's your favorite singer that you emulate the most? Elvis? Elvis?
Well, Elvis kind of started things off. But really, I would say probably the two biggest were probably John Lennon and Bruce Springsteen.
Born in it. I can't even do Bruce Springsteen. I can't do his. Let's hear it.
We busted out of class. Had to get away from those fools. We learned more from a three-man record.
8 seconds, I got to edit it out, I think. I'm not sure I don't know if it's cumulative effect of more. No, but anyway, yeah, I mean, Bruce Springsteen, legendary. Started off, how many of these guys, you talked about some stories, you watched John Bon Jovi, when he was opening.
For Rat, yeah.
He was opening for a little band named Rat. Now, when I was a kid, Rat was cool. What was the Rat's biggest song back in
Round and Round.
Round and Round. I can't stop. But yeah, so Bon Jovi is way bigger than Rat ever was, right, now. But this is back when Rat was getting the headliner.
Right.
And then John Bon Jovi was living on a prayer. Yep. Don't do John Bon Jovi.
Runaway. It just came out as a single when he was opening up for Rat. So.
Okay.
She's a little runaway.
She's a little runaway.
Yep.
All right. So Now you were there where was that venue that you were watching?
That was at Kiel Auditorium.
The Kiel Auditorium.
Yep.
All right, we'll get my pens. Take note from that one, everybody. It's back to Kiel now. It's remodeled and made into the Scottrade, or what's it called now? Enterprise.
Right. Well, it's the Enterprise. See, but back in the day, it was the Kiel on one side. It was the auditorium on one side and the Opera House on the other side, and there was a wall between them. And when they'd be loading out after the show, they bring that wall up, and you could see into the Opera House from the auditorium.
This literally was. I knew they were like two separate things. I never quite understood that. I never.
But it's the same stage.
It's the same thing. Okay. Well, that's kind of crazy. And Jeannie, I'll call you back. But and then what did they do to it now? They took out the opera part.
Well,
now it's just
no, the Opera House is still there. That's the Stiefel Opera House.
That's the Stiefel. Okay.
But they built the Enterprise Center on the other side. My son's 36 years old, and I've got pictures of him standing at the construction gate for what is the Enterprise Center now, when he's about 4 or 5 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
We'll get a whole history lesson right here in 10 minutes, 30 minutes. We're about 21 minutes, 28 seconds. We're 7 minutes left, Dave. Captain Happy Hour here, everybody. He will make your happy hour awesome. I'll show you a little bit of his Facebook. He's got a lot of his information is on the interwebs, is on his Facebook. There is his Facebook page. We're on the intro. Where are we at? We're on this is the main page. He's got a great look. You got some cool pictures there, man. You got famous photographers taking pictures of you.
Some of those pictures were taken here in town. Some of those pictures were taken in Argentina.
And then, look behind us, everybody. This is what page are we on? I said, let's just use your Facebook for both things. And, it's on the other side. I'll go here. But yeah, so I scroll down here. You got a couple of videos. I can't play the videos because we can play 8 seconds of them, I guess. I don't know. But you've got a lot of stuff out there that you do. A lot of photos more than anything. So I told you, we'll bounce around. A lot of cool photos. You doing your acoustic thing. Different venues that you play at. And it shows a little bit about where you do your thing. And, well, people, they want to get you to come out. There you go, right? Who are you playing with there?
That's Matt Perry. He's another Spanish Lake boy. We call ourselves Just Two Guys from Spanish Lake.
Just two guys from Spanish Lake.
Yep, keeping it simple.
Okay.
He's a great guitar player, too, and a good dude.
Okay, because I was showing that, and I thought I was showing this. But let's go back over there. Yeah, so I was scrolling through the pictures. Sorry, everybody. You got a little bit of an editing thing there, maybe. We'll fix it, maybe. But here's all these pictures. Take a look here at Dave's Facebook. His Facebook is, and he did this right, facebook.com. There you can see it, /Captain Happy Hour. Or I found it by going to, I just did a Facebook search. It's like a Google search. It's at the top of and it said, I typed in Captain Happy Hour. You're smart. You did Gabe King, a.k.a. Captain Happy Hour, that I got over there. So take a look at that, and you see what I'm talking about. That's a smart man, knows how to market a little bit.
Well, see, you come to my gig, you get one of my guitar picks.
Yeah, I get to keep that, right? Look at this, everybody. You can keep it if you want to. But let me, you got these made. That's pretty cool. What are these? These are worth $500 each, aren't they?
I wish.
$10 million.
I got a bag of about 1,000 of them, so that'd be quite a bit of money. I wouldn't have to play gigs anymore.
I'm going to have you sign it before you leave, if you'll let me keep it. I've got Scorfina's stuff up there.
Yeah.
And a few other famous people, the Towel Man. And come on in the studio.
Towel Man's a drummer.
Yeah, who's he drum for? Is his own band or is his band?
He plays in a band down in Fenton. I don't know. I was at a deal that his daughter was at. That's how I found out he was a drummer.
I had known that. But somebody said, he plays in a band. And we do charity stuff together.
Well, you remember when we used to do all that charity stuff? I'd do it for the Rams and you'd do it for the Cardinals. They'd have the adoption exchange and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, we had a bunch of them.
And I used to go to the Pro Football Hall of Fame every summer for induction week and go visit the kids in the hospital.
Did you
up there at the Children's Hospital in Canton, yeah.
Oh, take me with you next time you do that, if you go up there again.
Yeah.
I've done all the kids' hospitals here in St. Louis, but I need to go some of the ones out around the country.
Yeah, it's always great seeing the kids, Everybody appreciates music no matter what their age.
Yeah,
and everybody loves Elvis.
Yeah, everybody thinks I'm going to do something and these kids are going to... No, man, you feel so awesome with the energy you get from them.
Well, and Lilo and Stitch, showed Elvis and everything like that. When I play weddings, I get the 80-year-old women, and I get the young kids that come up. They'll come down when I'm doing Elvis tunes and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, Elvis is legendary. My grandma, I'll never forget my grandma back in the day. She's like, oh, Elvis is so beautiful. He's so handsome. I'm like, I guess. I mean, I talked to my girlfriend back in the day. I'm like, was he that good looking of a dude? She's like, oh yeah, Elvis was a good looking
everybody
guy.
thought that Elvis was a good looking man when he was young.
He's also a pretty good singer. Cause I'm all shook up. Oh.
Well, he just turned 90.
So he'd have been 90 now.
January 8th, was his 90th birthday.
Or is he current? He is 90.
Well,
that is the question.
Elvis will never be gone.
Elvis will be here forever. He's
Yep.
still living down in
Memphis.
what is that called though?
Graceland.
Graceland. I've been there. I got people wanted to get their pictures with the Cardinal Cowboy at Graceland. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if it's been a while. We played some semi-pro baseball, won a national championship, and whatever that qualified us. We were number 1 ranked team in the country, not number 1, not number 2, not number 3, not number 4. We were number 5. We were number 1. I was like the 6th best player on the team. We had some great ball players, man. That was fun. But we'd go down there and went to Graceland, and they've got a whole. You can go visit it. The Jungle Room.
Oh yeah, Jungle Room's cool.
How did that get the name for the Jungle Room? Where'd that come from?
From all that green carpet that's on the walls and the ceiling, and then he went out and found that funky furniture.
Okay, because I was like maybe some jungle crazy things happened there or something.
No, it was the 70s, and Elvis had absolutely no taste in fashion whatsoever. He was a poor kid with a lot of money.
Yeah, well, I heard it's another story he has of persistence. He just kept going and kept going. People told him he wasn't good enough. And then he's not even an amazing singer. He does that baritone.
Oh yeah.
Or he does.
He's velvet. He's got that. He's got that. He's a crooner.
Falling in love with. I'm gonna join you one of these times.
There you go.
You think they'll kick me off the stage?
They haven't kicked me off yet, so I think you're safe.
All right, we had a lot of fun here. We got a minute left. Tell everybody. Who is it that punched or got punched by Axl Rose?
Axl punched my buddy Bruce Olson. Bruce was my wingman. We used to go out and party together all the time, and when we'd be working shows down at the arena, we saw the sunrise on the parking lot quite a few times out behind the arena, and Axl decided he was going to punch Bruce, who was a concrete finisher. Who would have just he could have broke Axl in half.
But who took the picture that caused the problem?
It was.
Was it him?
No, it was a local. Let's just say a local motorcycle enthusiast. I won't.
But it wasn't him.
No, I know who it was, but I'm not going to name names.
But Bruce did not. Bruce took the punch, but Bruce had nothing to do with it other than he was the security guy in between.
Exactly.
You guys were working security, is why you had such close.
Yep.
And the guy was one first row, and he's the one who took the picture. Back then, if you took a picture with a whatever camera, it might have been a Polaroid, but man, you couldn't do that because that's how they made money. You had to sell the videos or whatever.
Yeah,
oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, there wasn't camera phone crazy like nowadays.
We'll talk more. Stay tuned. Get a hold of Dave. Your little castle show. Captain Happy Hour.